The predator we think we know isn't always what it seems. Esperance. Its waters encourage us to enter readily, to swim, surf and explore. But for all our appreciation, we rarely notice how tightly those lives we encounter are linked. There's a seasonal rhythm that pulses through here every year. In winter, a migration begins, gathering within sight of land. Southern right whales arrive after a prolonged journey of thousands of kilometres from waters close to Antarctica. We watch them come year after year, nurturing their calves at historic gathering points. One of those places lies on the edge of Esperance's enormous archipelago of islands, Israelite Bay. When winter comes to an end, the water's warm. The whales begin their long journey back to the south. They aren't the only ones moving through these waters. Their motivation is different. They're following for sustenance. Yet every now and then, the pattern we think we understand is broken. Sometimes, one of them stays. For 6 weeks we looked on as this 5-metre female great white called these shallow bays home. She didn't pass through. She settled. Day after day, we tracked her moving slowly along the same stretches of coast, calm, predictable and unusually passive for a top-of-the-line predator. Despite the availability of seasonal prey, she showed no interest in feeding. At least, not that we saw. Dolphins passed within striking distance. She showed curiosity. Watched from above. She didn't flinch. In an apex predator, prolonged fasting at this scale is rarely random. It points to a significant biological event. Rather than hunting, she appeared to be using the shallows as shelter, moving with a domestic rhythm that felt almost out of place. It's possible she had learnt there was a natural gap here, the quiet period between when the whales leave and when the next major food source arrives. An uneasy calm settled over our town as onlookers tracked her movements while she moved from bay to bay. Then the dynamic changed. A second shark arrived. An equally large male, untagged and motivated. Unlike the female, he moved with urgency, drawn directly to opportunity. Where she conserved energy, he burned it. For a brief window, 2 massive predators shared the same narrow stretch of coastline, operating on completely different biological frequencies. By early December, the energy of the coast shifted. Offshore killer whales converge on the deep canyons beyond the continental shelf, as they do every austral summer. In the Southern Ocean, the orca is the dominant predator. But dominance doesn't mean invulnerability. In the 1970s, more than a dozen killer whales stranded. Why it happened was never fully understood. We've seen the consequences of great whites entering this domain before. In 2003, we tagged a female we named Alpha. The data revealed a rapid descent to 600 metres, followed by a sudden spike in temperature. The tag was entombed. Alpha was almost certainly killed. By what? We still don't know. What we do know is that the animal carrying that tag travelled more than 300 miles before ejecting it, moving between historical feeding grounds that have drawn large predators for centuries. Seasonal events exert a powerful pull. Some we understand, many remain hidden. Both sharks disappeared at a similar time of year, an indication that a seasonal trigger may have drawn them offshore. Since mid-December, the shallows have remained relatively silent. If she followed those same offshore pathways, she enters a domain I've spent years trying to understand. A space where dominance offers no guarantees. Known threats, unknown ones, all waiting beyond the edge of the shelf. Out there, the story continues.